This program contains true stories of rescues. All of the 911 calls you will hear are real. Whenever possible, the actual people involved have helped us reconstruct the events as they happened.
The worst thing about being a cop is never knowing what might be around the next corner. This story is not a recreation. It's one incident that confronted the Tampa Police Department on the night of May 30th, 1990.
911, what's your emergency?
I have somebody in my apartment, and he's threatening. He's got a knife in his hand, a butcher knife, and he's threatening to cut me.
Who is this person in your apartment?
His name is Sean.
Is he a neighbor or something?
He's an old friend.
He's an old
drunk.
friend.
He's drunk.
Is he inside or
Yes,
outside?
he's inside.
What's your name?
My name is Anita.
All right, Anita, we'll send somebody out.
Thank you.
At 12:38 a.m., 2 squad cars are sent to the scene, including veteran officer Craig Jordan.
Our first initial thought was just domestic disputes. We get them all the time. That's what we originally thought it was, took it to be. But we've seen there was a little bit more to it than that.
The man has already gotten Anita and the other adults out of the apartment when Officer Lucretia Manatol arrives.
And then I realized that we've got a hostage situation where he's barricaded himself and there's a child inside.
The officers try to talk to the man.
How long you guys got?
Till 7 in the morning.
7 o'clock in the morning. I don't want to be here that long. My first concern was for the child, which we were told by the father was asleep, but still, there's no telling what this guy's going to do. Nobody knows but him. And he told us himself, you know, I've already started this thing, so I'm going to take it to the limit.
What's the deal? Either you guys are going to let her in here, or you guys going to take me to jail or let me go, one of the three.
You come to town with that?
And most likely, I know which one it's going to be.
What's that?
So I figure if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right.
He'd walk away from the window, and then at that time I saw that he had it looked like a large butcher knife in the back of his pocket. And I had a strong feeling that this just might not end very well.
When we continue.
He seemed to get more and more hostile, telling us we're going to have to come in and take him out, and that if we try to come in, he would harm the child.
When Sergeant Jill Marks arrives, she begins the negotiation process.
You want to learn as much as possible about the person you're dealing with.
He entered, armed himself with a couple of butcher knives inside the kitchen, and told all 4 adults that he was taking charge of the child, and that if anybody was man enough to stand up to him, that they need to do so now.
Okay. And then the first thing I wanted to do was to talk to the ex-girlfriend. She's the one that can tell us a little bit about his mental state, any previous mental history, what he was like when he came in, had he been drinking.
Okay, your son's 4 years old?
He'll be 4.
John is the natural father?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know why John's all upset?
I don't love him anymore. I'm seeing somebody else. He just will not leave me alone.
Can I ask you to draw a floor plan?
Sure.
Okay.
She can tell us where things are in the house, where the phone is, where the baby was.
Has he ever shown any type of tendencies like this before?
No, his mother's had him in the psycho ward for trying to commit suicide and trying to kill himself.
How long ago was that?
It's been about 7 years ago.
You just want to get that child out of there safe. And this guy did have a past history of suicidal tendencies. He had been drinking, and we were very concerned that he was getting to the point where he might harm the child.
How you doing?
All right, how you doing?
I'm Sergeant Marks. How are you?
How you doing, lady?
This is turning into quite a thing
telling
here.
I wanted to see if I could gain his confidence a little bit, lighten it up a little bit. And there were times he was very light.
Is the baby all right?
Yeah, he's doing fine.
Okay.
He's doing real good.
But then the next minute, he was right back on the agitated side. He was like a powder keg waiting to go off.
Yeah, well, I think you're full of
You want to talk to her?
No, I want to talk to you.
Okay.
You're the bigwig now, right?
Right.
right?
Okay, so what do you want to do?
You're concerned about the child, correct?
I'm
You've
concerned
gotta-
about everybody.
You're concerned about the child, right?
Yeah.
You're concerned that that child's not getting proper care.
Yeah.
His real concern was she was now dating another man, and he didn't like it. So he made up these problems to put some of the blame on somebody else as to why he was doing this.
Now, what else can I do for you?
If I leave here, you guys don't put a hand on me. You put a trespassing warrant against me, and that's it. Okay, I want it in writing. Okay,
That's a deal.
Let's see how good you can make it look. Okay, that's fair enough.
Okay, is that
If
fair?
it looks legal enough to me, I won't even waste my time.
Okay, that's fair.
All right,
That's
okay.
fair enough.
Okay, let's do it.
All right.
He wanted to have a trespass warning. Well, that's the only thing this thing said, is you will get a trespass warning. It didn't say that that's all you will get, you know, and if the word game works, then that's fine. As long as that child's out of there and safe, that's the ultimate goal.
There you go, man. Got it?
To John William Lewis, I do hereby swear that you will be given a trespassing warrant. Man, I don't know about this. There's something else I want on there. I want everyone that could possibly press charges to sign that they're not. Yes,
I
yes.
can't do that, man.
No.
Can't do that, man.
By 1:05 a.m., the tactical response team is on the scene, including hostage negotiator Sergeant Dennis Black. Lights are turned out as marksmen and entry teams are positioned around the building.
You think I'm stupid? You're ignorant. Just
Sergeant Black works on getting the man to surrender.
Get out of my face. Get out of my Yeah, you're sweet. They're just like this dumb
He didn't like me from the beginning. He spit at me, cussed at me. It wasn't getting to me because I knew the state of mind he'd been drinking. He was emotionally upset. And as long as he's talking, he's not hurting anybody.
I'm gonna walk scot-free.
We had to win the guy over because he was dangerous. I could see the large butcher knife in his back pocket. I offered him whatever he wanted. He wanted the news media. The news media was here. We tried to show him that.
You want to see the camera? There's a camera right there with the light. All you got to do is come up and sign whatever you want. You don't want to cooperate with me. You want everything.
I looked into his eyes. I could see a frightened person that was totally lost. He was looking for a friend, but he didn't know how to accept one.
I'm your help, bud. I'm your help.
How close is each other?
1:50 a.m., they decide to slip two officers into the apartment.
The way that place is set up, okay, he's right here under that window. There's an open bathroom window. He's locked this window, but the baby is either in the small bed or
The first officer in is Sergeant Carson Helms.
After I got in, he went back into the bedroom, which was located directly across from the bathroom on the other side of the hallway. At that point, we were afraid we were going to make too much noise for the other TRT member to come in. So I was in the bathroom by myself, waiting just in case he did get to the front, I could get in between him and the child.
Sergeant Ronald Reynolds takes over the negotiations.
What type of charge are we talking about, John? I just got it.
We never give up the hope that we can talk the guy out. Making forced entry into a residence is, without a doubt, the last resort.
That's real smart, pulling the damn phone out of the wall. That's real smart.
Nothing he did surprised me. I think he was just intoxicated, despondent, and he was going to make a stand.
He seemed to get more and more hostile, telling us we're going to have to come in and take him out, and that if we try to come in, he would harm the child.
I could see the child on the bed. I could see him pick up the meat cleaver. I wanted him as far away from that child as possible, because if he had it in his hand, how long does it take to pick the child up and stick the cleaver to him?
John, please come here and let's talk. No, you're not.
I think that's when it hit me that it was going to end up terrible because he's not going to come out and they're going to have to go in there. I was terrified and I kept trying to talk to him just to get him away from John Michael.
John, please come here and talk to me. Please. It's just going to be worse if you over here talk to me.
I knew where he had to be when they made entry, and I could see he was coming to it.
No, we didn't. No. This is crazy.
Hey, John! Hey, John! John!
Back off.
Got your boy. Got your boy.
He's got some blood on him.
And I could see the cut on the head and the blood, and I just wanted to get a paramedic there, get the child looked after.
I thought he was hurt real bad. I mean, I felt like my heart was just going to stop beating at that point. I was just so scared.
And we were very lucky. It turned out to be something relatively minor.
Somehow, in the scuffle, John Michael's head was accidentally cut. The boy's father pleaded no contest to armed burglary, false imprisonment, and aggravated assault, and has agreed to undergo therapy.
There's a lot of joy and a lot of self-satisfaction that things just really turned out and that everybody was okay and things went good.
It's a good feeling when it's over and everybody's saved. That night we saved a life or possibly 2 lives, and I feel good about it.
I thought that there might be some problems after all this, but he seems to be doing real well. When they came in the bedroom, they had those masks on their face, and he called them Ninja Turtles.
I like the golden turtles. I like the toy and the turtles too.
You do. But everything, it seems like everything he does now, I appreciate so much more. And when he goes to bed at night, I just want to hug him, and I'm just glad he's okay.
Next.
When I saw his little face, it was real gray. And I just knew he was dead.
On April 29, 1990, in Rushville, Indiana, 6-year-old Doug Salee and his 10-year-old brother Richard learned just how dangerous even the most familiar places can be.
Julie Salee and her daughter Becky were leaving their house to go visit relatives.
The boys wanted to go fishing. And I said, stay together and stay on the flat ground where you're supposed to be. They said, okay, Mom. And then as I started to pull away, Douglas yelled for me, and he said, I love you. And that was the last thing he said.
The pond was only a few blocks away from their house.
They go down the pond quite a bit. But Douglas doesn't know how to swim. Richard does.
Richard had been to the pond many times before.
We started fishing on the flat land, and the fish weren't biting over there. So we went down on the cement slab. Doug he uses a worm. He'll get real close by the water. I didn't jump in because if I would have jumped in, then no one would have got help. So I just ran to go get my mom. I knew he was going to drown.
Mom! Mom! Richard come running in and said, Doug's fell in the water and I can't get him out. And I yelled for Becky to go next door and tell the firemen we need their help. And then I got on the phone to the police.
The call came in at 6:39 p.m.
Police headquarters. Hurry up and get down to 2nd Street Pond. My son just fell in. Hurry, please.
Okay.
I'm going now.
What's your name, ma'am?
Julie Sweet.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Next door to the Salee house at the policeman's lodge, off-duty officers Dan Sheehan and Bill Surveys were playing pool.
Somebody was pounding at the door. It was Becky Salee. She was crying and very panicked.
My brother fell in the water.
Asked us to help.
2nd Street Pond.
Dan, we got a kid in the pond east of town. Call the station. I'll get a truck, Bill.
There was a young boy, Richard Salee, got in the pickup truck with me outside. Seconds seemed like minutes or hours to me, and I yelled several times for Bill. Bill, come on. Bill, come on. My emotions were really up because I didn't really know what we had. Not knowing whether or not we would see the boy or whether we'd be underwater, I just had a lot of anxiety going for me.
Rescue workers were dispatched. Off-duty paramedic John Todd, who lived not far from the pond, also decided to go.
I heard the dispatch come out from the police department of a child in the lake. And for some reason, I just felt like it sounded like it was really going to amount to something serious.
Approximately 10 minutes after Doug fell into the pond, the first help arrived.
Right as Danny pulled the truck up, I stood up in the back and looked. I could see the young Doug Salee float to the surface. And for all intents and purposes, he appeared to be dead. As I was reaching out to grab Doug by the sweater, the biggest thing that stood out in my mind was there was no bubbles at all, which tells you he's not breathing or trying to breathe.
Here, grab a hold.
And I saw him pull him out. And he was just so, he didn't have any life in him. And I asked Danny if he was alive, and he said, we're going to work on him. When I saw his little face, it was real gray, and his little lips were blue, and I just knew he was dead.
Within 4 minutes of the call for help, paramedic Todd got to the scene.
When I first saw him, he was completely cyanotic in color, which means that he had not been breathing for quite a long period of time. There was no pulse, there was no breathing, absolutely nothing whatsoever. I really felt like it was a lost cause at that time.
Okay, clean him out.
The officers had already worked to remove the water from the boy's lungs. Todd cleared his airway and began CPR.
I saw my mom in the police car and everything, you know, and I asked if he was alive. Well, I finally went up there and got a glance at him, and I thought he wasn't going to make it. I was praying to God that he'd come through.
Do it again. Okay.
Within 2 minutes or 3 minutes at the most, I first noticed his hand started to tighten up. His fingers started to flex. I was very, very surprised to actually see the child respond to the efforts. So we stopped. I watched to make sure that I was actually seeing what I thought it was, and he did move his hands. So I told Danny, I said, he's starting to come around. He's starting to move. And he reached down at that time and felt for a pulse. He says, I do feel a pulse. It was such a good feeling, but I still knew that we had a very, very touchy situation.
Okay, let's get an oxygen mask out.
They were working on him. They'd already put a tube in him, and they'd already used some portable suction on him. And it was about that point that I heard Doug gagging and coughing.
Someone yelled, do you hear that, Julie? And he was screaming. So then I wouldn't accept, you know, that he was alive until somebody actually told me, and I could see for myself.
I felt like, you know, hey, we have saved somebody's life, and it was just starting to hit me. And Bill and I jumped up and gave each other a high five in the middle of the road and thought, you know, this is a great job, you know, we've done it, we've done it.
Doug Salee had been underwater for as much as 10 minutes. There was no way of knowing how much damage had been done.
In any situation in which you revive an individual who has a complete cardiopulmonary arrest, the concern is always brain damage because they've been for a period of time without oxygen to their brain.
Doug was taken to Rush Memorial Hospital, where Dr. David Duncan is medical director.
He did experience cardiac arrest, and to recover in such a rapid time, that's most remarkable. But he was provided with properly applied CPR by 3 caring individuals.
It's just remarkable to see someone come back from total death to being total normal in 24 hours. It just does not happen. I've never seen it happen before.
6 weeks later, Doug had completely recovered when he joined the community of Rushville in honoring his rescuers.
I think Bill and Danny are my best heroes and best pals. Best pals I have ever had.
Since the incident, Doug's rescuers have become close with his family.
They did everything like clockwork. They never gave up, they just kept working on him. And, you know, you just want to tell them every day, give them a big hug, and thanks, guys.
Well, at least you got a smile on.
I learned next time I go near the water, I have a life jacket and a grown-up. Because if you forget your life jacket and you fall in, then you'll drown. Then, well, it ain't very fun. I feel nice. I'll tell you that.
Step out of the car, please.